ready?
We are recording.
With your hammer.
Okay, my hammer. All right, we're starting our Improvement and Services Committee meeting, and we'll start with our roll call. We've got Alder Campbell here. Alder Stevens.
Present.
And we have Alder Mark Stoyer and Alder Chris Weary that are excused absences, and we also have myself, Alder Eck. So we're all here. So for approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that is approved. So motion to approve, or looking for a motion to approve of the minutes.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so we are on to E, regular business. Number 1, consideration with possible action on request by Will Liebergen to appeal the stormwater charges for the parcel at 1026 North Broadway, held from the May 31st Improvement and Services meeting. And I don't see Will here.
He is not.
Okay, so Director?
Well, at the last meeting, we discussed Mr. Liebergen's property and the fact that he did install a stormwater management system on his property. Mr. Liebergen was of the opinion that it was an infiltration basin, but the information we provided to you last time showed that it was not an infiltration basin, it was a detention basin. And the water was eventually coming out of that basin. The last meeting was that property, for the portion of the property that drains through that basin, he would be eligible for a 10% reduction in his ERUs, and staff was directed to go back and investigate. We did investigate and found out that no, that credit had not been requested of us for the installation. So Valerie Jewson, our utility manager, has sent the required information to Mr. Liebergen. Once he fills that out and sends it back to us, we'll be able to review and grant the request. So we have completed everything that is provided for under ordinance.
Okay.
So what are you proposing with this one?
Our recommendation would be to deny the request. What he's looking for is full recovery of his stormwater charges, because again, he mistakenly thought that the water was completely infiltrating and not getting to the storm sewer at all, so he wasn't using our storm sewer system. In fact, the documentation that he provided indicated that the water was, after treatment, was actually getting into the storm sewer. So under the ordinance provides a couple of different options. If the water is directly discharging to the Fox River or the bay, we can provide up to a 2/3 credit. But if it goes through a stormwater treatment device and then into the storm sewer system, the ordinance provides the ability for us to grant the 10%.
Okay.
So his original request was to refund all of his stormwater. We would recommend denial of that and apply the 10% credit at such time that he supplies the requisite paperwork.
Was that up to that point? He wanted a refund, and then moving forward it'd be different?
Correct.
How he was requesting it?
Well, I think he was requesting that all past and future,
Oh, and future?
that he wouldn't pay because the water wasn't entering the storm system, but that's not the case.
All right, Chair, I'll make
So-
a motion to deny.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that the denial passes. Okay, so number 2, consideration with possible action on request by Alder Galvin to study the potential negative impact on city parking facilities, especially parking ramps, due to the increased vehicle weight of electric vehicles. Director?
Well, Chris Pirlot, the operations manager and parking manager, is here with us tonight. Chris provided me with an email earlier today. He's been doing some investigation into this, especially as it relates to parking ramp building codes. And in speaking with Assistant Director Burnett, if we were to do something different, basically what it would involve would be if the feds or the state were to change uniform building code for loads in structured parking. So short of that, there's really not a whole lot we can do, but just to take a look at things to see how we're protected. Chris has done some investigation. So what we're looking at, most building
Is that what this, I'm sorry, is that what? is
Nope,
that-
nope, that's a
Okay,
separate
don't have
item.
anything to look at, all right.
So most building codes require a 50 pound per square foot and a 2,000 pound concentrated wheel load distributed over 20 square inches anywhere on a floor. If you do the math, that comes up to an 8,000 pound vehicle. So that's the standard design. Standard building code involves a factor of safety of 2. So although you're designing for that, then you put a factor of safety on, you're actually designing for a vehicle of up to 16,000 pounds. The 2023 Hummer electric vehicle is 9,100 pounds. The 2024 Silverado half-ton pickup truck, EV, is 8,000 pounds. Now that compares to a curb weight of about 5,000 pounds on a standard Silverado. The fuel-powered F-250 3/4 ton truck can weigh up to 7,500. Now a Tesla passenger car, the Tesla Model X, as well, I guess that's an SUV, is about 5,100 pounds. So what we're dealing with here, generally speaking, EVs are in that 5,000 pound range. So they're well below the 8,000 pound that we normally design for anyway. Again, ASCE 7, which the American Society of Civil Engineers, publication number 7, is a building load manual. So it tells you typical load cases on different types of buildings. They only allow for 40 pounds per square foot instead of 50, but they require a 3,000 pound load instead of a 2,000 pound over a 20 square inch area anywhere on the floor. So there's multiple checks and balances in there. Studies that have been performed on valet parking of cars, so valet, you're parking them in tight, typically we see live loads of no more than 30 pounds per square foot. So we do think that it was a good question for Alder Galvin to ask, but at this point, it appears that our ramps are built sufficiently to withstand the additional loading caused by electric vehicles.
Okay, so are we looking for like a receive and place and file on this?
Correct.
Well, thank you for that information. I'll make the motion. to
Yeah.
place the file.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 And that passes. So number 3, consideration with possible action on the purchase of a tilt bed trailer and trailer mounted air compressor using approved ARPA funding. Director?
Okay, we recently, there was money in the 2023 budget that was applied towards equipment purchases. One of the pieces of equipment that was identified was a tilt bed trailer and trailer mounted air compressor. In the packet, we have provided you with the quote that our fleet manager obtained from Trail King Industries for that piece of equipment. Tilt bed trailer. There's also a memo from Nathan in there. And this has been run through the purchasing department, and purchasing department agrees. So we are staff is recommending the purchase of the trailer. Let's see.
Tilt bed trailer.
Yeah,
Mounted air compressor.
Quotes on here.
I'm looking to see the
Mount.
compressor. And forgive me, it doesn't look like the compressor,
Is this a new air compressor or are we using a current one?
No, it should be a new compressor,
This-
maybe Nathan,
but it's not a replacement, it's not replacing an old piece of equipment. This is new to the fleet, I believe.
you're right. But yeah, maybe Nathan forgot or purchased it correct to send us the stuff to put in the packet. So yeah, they're two separate items. It's not, the compressor's not being mounted on the tilt bed trailer. The tilt bed trailer is a 40,000 pound gross vehicle weight trailer, so we get all large vehicles.
Yeah, isn't the whole total
And
like
the compressor's
140
used for something else.
140,000 or something?
Yeah, the trailer was 40,000, 41,000.
I see the 41,600,
That's there was
750.
a-
Oh, wait a minute, oh, wait. 43,007,
Bobcat was like 15,000.
where's that one on
That's
the,
the next one.
That's the next one.
well, there's
And
three
maybe it was
things.
too
Is the
late.
second one?
We put it in the packet, I
The third one,
apologize.
okay, I did look at that one too.
Well, we
So the
already,
recommendation is to purchase one Trail King TKT 40 LP tandem axle tilt bed trailer from Airing Equipment using the Sourcewell contract for $43,007.50. Okay, he doesn't have the air compressor.
Yeah.
I don't see,
Yeah,
like,
I
a
forwarded
total
everything that
on
Nathan
any.
shared with me, and I
So what's the total, just,
Okay, so
you're
what we're,
looking for?
what we're doing is do not take action on the air compressor at this point.
postponed that one.
Okay,
so basically, I make approval to purchase a tilt bed trailer and postpone purchase on the trailer-mounted air compressor until we have further information.
And if I find something to the contrary, notify you prior to
Council?
council, and we can make the amendment on the floor.
Yeah, I apologize,
Okay.
I should have checked the data that I gave to them.
So Tara, that's
so we
my
have a motion, would you like to second it?
Second
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that passes. Okay, number 4, consideration with possible action on the purchase of a Bobcat Toolcat utility vehicle and attachments using approved 2023 bond funding.
Okay, and in your packet, we have included the requisition request from the fleet manager. Again, this is coming off the Sourcewell contract, so it has been competitively bid around, on a statewide contract. Recommendation is to purchase the,
Bobcat.
is it one or two? He's got two of them.
What was it, what's the total?
100 and,
148, 375, 86.
It sounds like one plus attachments.
I thought it was one plus attachments when I was looking at it.
well, it has the quantity of one.
We used to be able to get two at that price, but that was
Oh, wow.
before COVID.
So is this a replacement or adding to the fleet?
That'd be a replacement. That was a budget item.
It says it was a bond on the,
Okay,
Yeah,
what
Yeah,
what
it's fine.
the requisition request from the fleet manager is 2 Bobcat UW56 toolcats, 2 sets of pallet forks, 2 68-inch buckets, and 1 72-inch mower from Bobcat Plus off the Sourcewell contract, totaling $148,074.86.
so in that, but on there it says the quantity is 1 for everything, so is that wrong, incorrect?
The agenda item may be incorrect.
Incorrect?
One liquor.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're,
So do we need me a recommendation to change us to purchase 2 Bobcat
Yes.
plus utility, plus attachments?
Yes, and again,
I
if
see
there's
that it's on
something,
there.
if there's something different, I will advise you before council.
Underneath your requisition request on there, it says 2, but then on the other thing, it looked like there was only 1.
Bill?
Okay,
Okay, so
No,
I'd
the
make-
bill actually does call out 2 of them.
all right, I don't know, I must be looking at something. It's like one, it only looked like one of everything, but, okay, so we have a motion on the floor?
I was gonna
Motion on the
say,
floor
we're
to
talking double
amend
the price
the-
here, we better know what we're voting on
Yeah,
here.
I'll verify.
With the
We gotta
verification.
hold it.
State 2.
Find out.
It says 2 on the memo, but.
The agenda
there's-
says 1.
the-
So
The
we're not
agenda
going
says-
That is a typo then,
Okay, so we would,
So we would make a.
because all the process was related to exactly what the fleet manager put in the memo report. and the-
Right.
so we should amend it.
Amend the agenda item to reflect 2 Bobcats
Okay.
with all of the attachments.
And do we have
And
a,
to approve the purchase.
Correct.
so we have a motion, do we have a second?
Sure.
You're seconding it?
Second.
Okay, do you have any reservations?
As long as it's not gonna be $300,000.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
the two of them would be the 148 that's quoted.
Okay.
It just was
I
written
don't think
on
we've
the-
ever done anything like this so far since I've been here, so.
Well, the agenda
Because
is being
betting on it.
amended
The
to
first-
2.
I know
The
you like
first
to be
one-
thorough, Steve, so.
The first one, total machine price, once you factor everything in, is $67,119.13. The second machine is $67,119.13, then the mower
Okay.
is $5,707.60, then we got the pallet forks at $1,715, the strobe lights at $500, the 60-inch pallet forks, so that's the second set of pallet forks, for $1,715, and then the strobe lights, the warning lights on top of the Bobcat for $500. Total of all items quoted, $144, $375.86, dealer PDI and freight charges, then $148,074.86 is the all-in total.
Okay, so we have a motion by Alder Stevens, a second by Alder Campbell. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And it passes. And we trust that you're gonna make sure that says 2. All right, so number,
Chris and I will be meeting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll be all over both of these items.
okay.
we look at 50.
Number 5, consideration with possible action on the purchase of a license plate recognition system for 2 parking division enforcement vehicles held from the May 31st, 2023 Improvement and Services meeting.
Okay, well, we had a discussion at the last meeting about purchasing a license plate recognition software to be utilized by the parking enforcement officers to help with parking enforcement in downtown. And there were some questions relative to that LPR system that we were proposing to use. So Operations Manager Pirlot did go out and prepare a fact sheet, which has been included in the packet, to discuss the utilization of that license plate recognition. So that has been included in your packet. I was incorrect. We are still chalking. I know that there has been some legislation talked about. Currently, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee have prohibited it. It has been discussed in Wisconsin to remove it, but we are currently allowed to. Within Wisconsin, the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay, and the cities of La Crosse, Appleton, and Milwaukee are currently using the same technology for parking enforcement.
Trucking or the new system?
LPR.
The LPR.
Right.
What data is generated by LPR? The license plate number, the GPS position of the vehicle, and a timestamp of the LPR are recorded for each vehicle when it's scanned. And does the LPR identify the vehicle? No. Ownership is only through DMV records, and that can only be accessed after the fact through a DMV certified information request. The data is typically stored up to 30 days before it's overwritten or deleted. We would not need to keep the data that long, and we plan to maintain a data storage of 2 weeks or less. Where is the data stored? It's on a cloud-based server managed by the LPR provider. So if you remember the discussion we had when we were talking about the body cameras and Axon actually stores the data, same thing here. The LPR vendor would store that data and then overwrite it.
But
They're only
the
gonna
city
give
of
us-
Green Bay has exclusive license rights and ownership to it. No one else can.
No one else can
touch
access it. So
Legally.
they essentially give us a size of a hard drive, and once that hard drive is full, you gotta start overwriting old data.
It
What's the
doesn't,
yearly cost on this?
yeah, because last time you had the cost on it, and it's not attached to this one, at least not on mine.
I don't have it with me. It was like that, $6,000 or $9,000 a year. And that's pretty typical, unfortunately, in today's world. They don't sell software anymore. It's, a lot of this stuff is cloud-based. You buy the license rights to use the software. That's how they stay in business. We have software throughout DPW that unfortunately we have to pay an annual fee to have that software.
But as
Where in
far
the
as
past,
the-
it would have been, that probably would have been the price of buying the software.
The equipment itself, cost as well. That's not on here.
Yeah, the total cost was, yeah, again, I don't have that with me, a little over 100,000, like 105.
Per unit?
No, that was for the total package for it to set up 2 vehicles plus the software and the license fee.
What about annually?
No,
And
that's
the
what
annual
you're saying.
renewal is, it was like 6,000 or 9,000. Just like remembering if it was a 6 or a 9.
Where's the funding coming from for payment?
All this is out of parking.
Parking
division.
capital.
Yeah, parking capital. This is, it's not tax levy dollars, it's parking division fund.
I'm gonna make a motion to deny this. I think it's an infringement on people's rights. It's making the job easier, I understand that, maybe more efficient, but with the current way everything is being done, I think it's out of control. So I'm gonna make a motion to deny.
We have a motion on the floor and looking for a second.
I don't know much information about this. Sorry.
Okay, so the original request, answering a couple of the questions. So it's 2 of the actual systems. Total cost for the system is $105,000, $105,182.10. This includes a one-time purchase of the equipment and the first year of recurring maintenance. Starting in year 2, maintenance would be $6,691.92.
I guess my question for you would be is how would this improve to what we're currently doing?
Well, first of all, it doesn't require, from a processing standpoint, it's a lot faster. The attendant, the PEO, who's doing parking enforcement, is able to drive down the street as fast as that camera can read the license plates of the cars parked. You don't necessarily have to consult. When you're doing chalking, you have to verify the chalk mark and make sure it hasn't moved, and so it's faster, and if the license plate triggers that it's been in a zone for in excess of the zone period time, the attendant can immediately stop, issue the citation, get out, drop the citation on the vehicle, and move on to the next.
So basically all it's doing is just collecting a plate number.
Correct.
Right.
And then when you drive by there in a half hour, if that,
So,
it's still here.
In timed or metered zones, it can be used for that. Overnight, when we're out just roaming the city, it's going to pick up the license plate, so you don't have to determine, is it a black Chevy Impala with this license plate that's been parked in front of a house for 3 consecutive nights. So it'll assist with abandoned vehicles, lost or stolen vehicles, things of that nature. You also don't have to worry about data transcription errors when somebody's manually writing something down, because the computer's automatically reading the letter and numbers. From a safety perspective, it helps provide one layer of separation between the PEOs and somebody who may not be very happy about getting a parking citation. And then from time to time, we get requests from police department asking for information, especially when it comes to lost and stolen vehicles. So if they have a lost or stolen plate number, even if the vehicle was parked legally prior to 3 a.m., as we're riding around doing night parking enforcement, it's picking up the LPRs. If a lost or stolen vehicle request comes in, a silver alert, things of that nature, we can go back. It's not automatically going to trigger, but we can go back through that stored data and see if that license plate popped up.
And tell them where it was. But that's for internal use only, that's not shared with anyone except us. And we wouldn't share with anyone except the police department. In addition, permit parking it would provide a huge advantage. we've gone away from hang tags and doing new hang tags and permitted parking lots every month, because you don't just use the same one and use it all year, because people start and stop. So you're checking the hang tags. Now that with the Passport system that we have, it's different software, Passport's a different company. It's license plate recognized, so you go into lot F and you see ABC 123, but there's no hang tag. It's like, well, are they, and the meter's empty. Are they an expired meter, or are they a legitimate person in this lot? So then we gotta manually check that against our list. Yep, they're good. It's, that's ABC 123 is a
So
legitimate.
so what you're saying with this system is.
This one, it can tie into our known internal list of lot F, and it's gonna say ABC 123, and it's gonna talk to itself, to our internal computer file. It says ABC 123 is good, and the vehicle's gonna keep going. It's not gonna give the enforcement person a tag like, oh, that's not a permitted vehicle, and it's.
So for example, you would take all our personal license plates, put it in the system, and that system would say, oh, that belongs to Alder, to an Alder.
No, if you bought a permit paid for a permit in a parking lot, you would. But no,
Because we all get permits.
Yeah, we have the hang tag.
We have the hang
Yeah,
tag.
no, that's a totally different system. That's not part of this.
No, what Chris is talking about, just to the west of Howell Elementary School, under the Mason Street Bridge,
Yeah.
we have, that's lot A, lot B,
Yeah, A and G,
G.
there's two of them there.
So, and we rent spots in lot G to Bellin Hospital employees. They maintain a list of license plates and vehicle types that are permitted to park there. So the PEO can simply drive through there and verify that those license plates are supposed to be there. And if a license plate pops up that's not on the list, then it'll give you, hey, somebody's in here is not supposed to be.
And then let's just say that person or that vehicle that's not on our list is ABC 123. Okay, that we'll write the citation. We still don't know whose vehicle that is until we come back and the information is uploaded like we do every day at the end of the day into the back office software up here in City Hall. And then that software communicates with DMV officially, and then we'll send in, and the next day DMV will come back and say ABC 123 was Jane Doe at this address, and then the system's updated. But the LPR system is kind of a dummy head-end data collection part. It's the deeper end, personal information happens in the back office up here at City Hall under our own on-site secure server and connection with DMV. And that happens right now.
I have another question.
Sorry, go ahead.
So if we were to purchase these and you decided to get a new vehicle, we could transfer this equipment to
Absolutely.
new ones? And is there a lifespan that we know on how long these boxes will last?
That's a good question. I can find out, but all electronic devices,
Yeah.
like you say, you buy a computer, as soon as you buy it, it's obsolete. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. But
It's essentially an all-weather camera.
yeah.
So the part that's exposed to the elements is, for lack of a better way to describe it, it's like a game camera. And then the cords go into the box that's in the passenger compartment of the vehicle. So the sensitive electronics are protected from the elements.
And it sounds like all hang tags would go away then, vehicle hang tags.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
More or less hang tags in paid parking facilities.
Are you done?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So I have a hang-up, and I know you already know how I feel because I
Yep.
mentioned it last time. It can be open records requested, and you're keeping it for 2 weeks, but it's still within that period of time. I mean, if it could be not available open records, that would be a different story for me. I know there's a motion on the floor, and
Chair, I do have another question.
yes, go ahead.
So it says you keep the data for 30 days. Can we shorten that data to like 15 days?
Yes. Yeah,
Well, it
that's
says
what
2
we're-
weeks.
yeah.
They did say
If-
2
Oh,
weeks.
If you can keep it, the provider allows for up to, or the way it's set up to 30 days. Our speculation, not having a system, is that we're thinking maybe up to 2 weeks, but it could be less depending on our experience with it if we would have it. Maybe it would
because
say,
if we
maybe we'd end
shorten
up,
the
let's just-
days,
I'm
then the
pure-
open records request would kind of be nil to none.
Yeah, and pure speculation, let's just say for the sake of discussion, we get this system, and I can't give you any guarantee on what the decision would be. We find, why do we need to keep any of this stuff past, say, day 2, just to be safe? Because day 1, okay, I got that information, Jane Doe is a violator, we got that information in the back office, now why do we need to keep this? Maybe on day 2 it would be deleted, I don't know, because we have no experience with it.
Because your hiccup is open record.
The
Privacy.
violation, yeah, because it is like in my opinion, you said it.
Well, with what's happened by our administration this year, I think this is just
We're a little-
another, we're kind of up against the wall here on honesty, and I think people have voiced their opinion on things that have happened at City Hall, and this is just another intrusion, in my opinion, and I'm trying to stick up for the people I represent. As much as I think this could be efficient, I just can't support it.
Okay, so. I have a motion on the floor, looking for a second,
You can second it.
and I will go ahead and second it. So all in favor say aye.
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 I will have to say no.
And those against, those not in favor? Say nay.
Nay.
All right,
So it's 2-1.
2 to 1.
But I think we should.
I don't know how that works with
I'd like to
three.
make a comment. I think we should look at shortening those days if we can.
We can definitely do that.
This can still always come back.
Well, so what
Another
happens now? We
proposal.
got 2 to 1, so
It'll go to town
obviously it's
council,
gonna
2
go to
1.
council, right?
Or is it tonight?
How does that work?
Well, it goes to common council with a denial. Anybody could pull the item at common council, and it could be debated on the council floor. If the denial is held up, then it's prohibited from being discussed until the new term, new council. So we would have to wait until next April to bring it back.
Okay. All right, so moving on to number 6, consideration of possible action on request by Department of Public Works to enter into a memorandum of understanding between the City of Green Bay and the University of Minnesota, Duluth National Resources Research Institute, NRRI, to allow access to the Tank Farm Marsh property, parcels 6-18, 6-29, 18-9A1, and 18-9A4 for data collection and ongoing research.
So we've included in the packet a copy of some maps showing these parcels. For the 2 of you who sit on INS, this should look familiar. The Tank Farm Marsh is out by the tanks, up by Peters Concrete and US Oil. We're working on a project for habitat restoration with the Department of Natural Resources. As part of that project, we had the University of Wisconsin Green Bay request access to that parcel so they could collect samples, do bird watch, that kind of thing. And you did support that request. University of Minnesota Duluth would also like similar access for academic research, so staff does support the request.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Yep.
I'll make a
I
motion
remember
to
that.
approve.
Okay, we have a
Second.
motion to approve, second. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and so that passes. Number 7, consideration with possible action, sorry, I have a mint in my mouth now, to amend the 2021 and 2022 expression of interest for 2023 geotechnical engineering services to GEI Consultants, Inc., at a fee increase of 10% for did soil drilling services. Director?
Okay, we have a process, DPW annually consults with qualified geotechnical engineering firms to perform geotechnical investigations on our projects. As part of that process to select these firms, we request an expression of interest from several qualified firms across the state. We evaluate those firms and make a short list of 3 to 4 firms every year that we can then get rapid procurement of those services. We do this on a biannual basis, but we have the right, when we do that expression of interest, we reserve the right to extend an existing one in additional 2-year periods for an additional 2 years in 1-year increments. And there's a price escalation built into that you can escalate your prices by no more than 5% annually. Now, the way things went with the consumer price index last year, inflation was a lot more than 5%. GEI, who's been proposing and has been a good consultant for us to work with, their internal costs, they were able to limit by 5%, but their subcontracted costs for drill rigs, the actual drilling services, SES, their drilling sub, has indicated that they had a 10% price escalation. We could disqualify GEI because they're not abiding by the 5%. We do have 2 other firms we can use. We could go through the entire RFEI process again, which likely would have everybody go up by more than 5%. Or we could waive the subcontracted 5% escalator clause for GEI, understanding that it's a one-time cost adjustment. And even though it's 10% increase, the actual dollar expenditure, we don't do a lot of drilling in a year. So overall, we're talking about probably $2,000 to $3,000 difference between a 5 or a 10% markup.
If I'm understanding, it looked like they said it should be 15, but they're willing to
Correct.
lower it.
You are correct.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? And, all right, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Why am I asking that? We all said aye. It passes.
Because technically you're supposed to say.
I guess technically I should, but kind of obvious when we, all 3 of us. Okay. Number 8, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to award the following contracts at a staff level and report the award at the next Improvement and Services Committee meeting. A, Bridge 2-23 Atkinson Drive over CNWC Railroad B5225 painting. That's an interesting name. And B, Bridge 323 Main Street Bridge B5141 expansion joint reconstruction.
Okay, just for your edification, when we have a contract, Bridge 2-23, that's the second bridge contract in 2023 that we let.
Okay.
Bridge 323 would be the 3rd bridge contract. Atkinson Drive over the Canadian National Railroad, there are actually 2 bridges on Atkinson Drive north of Velp. So between Velp, the first one goes over the rail yard, that's our bridge. The second one goes over I-43, that's a DOT bridge. Every bridge, and technically a bridge is a structure spanning something that has a length of more than 20 feet. So some, for instance, West Mason Street at Beaver Dam Creek.
My nemesis right now.
Yes.
God.
That actually, when you look at it, looks more like a culvert, but because its length, what it's spanning is more than 20 feet, technically is a bridge. The Department of Transportation assigns bridge numbers to all bridges in the state of Wisconsin. So B-5-141 or B-5-225, that's the bridge number in the state's database. And then the last part tells you what we're doing. So here on Atkinson Drive, we're going to be doing bridge painting. And the Main Street Bridge, we're doing an expansion joint reconstruction. Okay, so just to give you a breakdown of what the contracts are.
Okay.
Again, this is because the bids are anticipated to come in 2 weeks, and we're not having another meeting for a month. So rather than hold the bridge contracts up, we'd like to get the contracts awarded and get the contractor started so we don't run out of construction season. So staff is simply recommending that we have the ability to award those at a staff level and report those out to common council and the committee after award.
So you're looking for a motion to refer to staff?
No, we would be looking for a motion to approve, because
Okay.
the request is to allow us to do the award and then report out rather than coming and requesting the award from the committee first.
Are the, I just want to ask, are these part of the?
They are part of the
bridge?
annual capital improvement program.
Okay, go ahead, Alder
Did
Campbell.
something come forward from the state to replace the Main Street Bridge and what was the other one?
Midski, not this bridge.
The Midski.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah,
the
this
big
one-
Bridge over the East River, kind of down by Karen's Pub, by Roosevelt there.
Oh,
Between Roosevelt and St. George.
Yep.
got it.
I know, when we think of bridge, we think of like bridge, and
And it's not the whole bridge. As you approach the
I
bridge,
know where you're talking about.
where the road comes to the bridge structure itself, there's an expansion joint in there allowing the bridge and the road to expand and contract at different rates.
Got it.
Right, motion to
Oh.
approve.
Okay, all right, so we have a motion to approve, a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. All right, it passes. I don't think we have to say that, right? Number 9, report the award of contract GBMFD 1-23 Station 7 window replacement to Commonwealth Corporation in the amount of $91,932. Director?
So one of the projects that Green Bay Metro Fire Department had in their capital program for this year was replacement of windows at Station 7. Station 7 is up on the intersection of Humboldt and Huron Road. That's Chief Ellison Station. 2 bids received, one from Commonwealth Construction Corporation at $91,932, second from Millbach Construction Services in the amount of $95,185, so very close bidding. It was within the budgetary estimates that fire department had, so fire department has recommended award.
And I don't see that attached, the comparison.
No, I apologize.
Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't
No,
missing it.
we-
Usually you do have that on there, so.
Yep, I will
So what
have a
recommendation do you want for
conversation
this?
after the
Award.
meeting about that.
Award contract.
Report the award of.
So we've already made that award of contract, we're simply reporting it out.
Okay, receive
to
and place
inform
and file.
the committee and council that we made that award.
Okay.
Receive and place and file?
Yes,
So
it
we-
would be.
A motion to receive and place on file, looking for a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes. Number 10, report the award of contract Green Bay Water Utility Water Main Rehabilitation to FurPal Construction USA LLC in the amount of $258,860.
And similar, this is a project that's going on Hazelwood. The water main there is in bad shape, in need of rehabilitation, but to dig that entire length of water main up would be a very onerous project. So what they're looking at is applying a similar technology to what we use when we CITP or cast in place pipe. When we line our sewers, they're actually doing a lining project on the water main. So this is the first of its kind in our area. Again, due to constraints and when council meetings were, due to the various things, water utility wanted to make that move more quickly than we could accommodate, so we did come to the committee and the common council asking for approval. This did go to the Green Bay Water Utility. They were happy with it, so they made that award. We're simply reporting out that a contract has been awarded on behalf of Green Bay Water Utility.
So we're receiving and placing on
Receive and
file.
place on
I'll
file.
make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to receive and place on file. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes. Number 11, report of actions taken by Department of Public Works, granting of licenses, sidewalk builder, N&L Concrete Construction LLP, Right Way Concrete Construction, Curb Pioneers, Surefield LLC, LDR Utility, Inc. Director, do we need?
So again, these are licenses that we have granted. We're reporting out that we granted the licenses. So receive and
Normally
place
do
on
that?
file.
Motion to receive and place
Bring
on
it
file.
back to tell us that?
We always report
Yeah,
out that
they
we've
report
approved
what
them.
they've done.
If, we changed that
That's
up a
fine.
couple of years ago to allow the staff to award the license
Yeah.
at a staff level and report that out. If we deny a license, they would have the appeal rights before the common council, or before the committee, but we didn't, we found we were wasting a lot of committee time discussing things that were foregone conclusion. We want contractors to have licenses to be able to do work in the city, so if we're approving the license, we're simply telling you that we've already approved it.
Okay, and we have a motion to receive and place on file for Alder Stevens. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that passes. What did I click on? I clicked on something. Informational. I clicked on something, so it went away. All right, informational. Director?
Okay, well, the first
Should I
item that
read
we
each
have
one?
for you is a presentation of a private stormwater management practice inspection program. City of Green Bay requires post-construction stormwater management under our municipal ordinances in conjunction with our DNR issued municipal separate storm sewer or MS4 permit. The permit requires us to track and enforce the long-term maintenance on privately held stormwater. So for instance, Mr. Liebergen's system, he can't just install it and then leave it like that. We have to track on a periodic basis to make sure it continues to function the way that it was intended. We have, our procedures are required to include tracking of regulated sites, on-site inspections at least once every 5 years, documentation of those inspections, and follow-up for enforcement with timeframes if we find any corrective measures that are necessary. Our permit expires on April 30th in 2024. There's approximately 268 properties that controls were installed between 2010 and 2022. Each property may contain multiple stormwater management practices. There might be more than one pond or biofilter or something like that there. We began conducting stormwater inspections in June 2023 with the assistance of an engineering intern funded through a grant received by UWGB and the Stormwater Utility. We've initiated sending out letters for follow-up for anybody who's required to take corrective action. Now, we're not going to go out there and just enforce. The whole idea is education and getting compliance. So the first round of this, if we notice deficiencies, we're going to identify what those deficiencies are and then work with the property owner to get those things corrected. It's only going to be if we get repeated rebuttals or lack of action on behalf of that property owner that we would take an action like that. We do expect them to be a lot more letters in the first round of inspection that we're doing and not so much in subsequent rounds. So all we're doing is giving you a heads up that we are going to start doing the on-site inspections consistent with the permit that we hold with DNR in case you get questions or concerns from residents of why is the city out here looking at this. It's actually part of our permit.
Okay, do we need to receive and place this?
Receive and place on file.
Okay. I'm looking for a motion.
You want to do each individual or just do all of them at once?
Well, he's not.
No, that would just be for the first one.
Okay, that's it.
No, it's up to you. How do you want it?
Oh. So
Yes,
let's go
if you
through all-
wish, you can
let's
take
go
all
through
of
all
them with a
and then
single
you-
vote. So,
Yeah.
That's
you
what
want me
I,
just to go ahead and present number two
Yeah.
then?
We just
So-
don't have four
I do them
informational,
all
so
together when it's information.
it's rare that we have four.
It really
Usually
is.
it's director's report, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, go
So the
ahead.
second
Procedures
is
here.
a status report on the rectangular rapid flashing beacon and driver feedback sign pedestrian safety project. That's the one I
This
handed
is
out.
the interbox.
We will make sure a copy of this is included in the council packet.
Okay,
As you know, last year in June, council approved the allocation of approximately $1.6 million for RRFB and driver feedback signs in conjunction with the Green Bay Area Public School District. In addition to just the RRFBs and the feedback signs, it also included the improvement of crosswalk markers at high visibility or in high traffic locations with a new type of paint that's more durable and higher visibility. In September of 2022, we ordered the painting machine. That was received in early 2023, and manufacturer has been on site to provide on-site training for that machine, so that we are ready to go with the paint. As luck would have it, within the past 2 weeks or so, we got 2 summer interns in the signing and marking, so we are going to start painting very, very soon.
And
Go
that includes
ahead.
that whole, like, kind of digging in, or like
Yep,
a kind of a
that's the one.
etching into the
The grind
cement?
laser,
Okay,
yes.
awesome.
So the traffic division prepared a list of locations where the RRFBs would be, provide enhanced pedestrian safety for crossing the streets. These locations are summarized in a table that I've included as page 2. Additionally, there are maps, and we've got 2 maps in there. It's actually the same map, but the first map concentrate, the location of the elementary schools is called out, and on the second map, the middle and high schools are called out. So just to help people get reference, if you're interested in a particular school and where the RRFBs are, if you're looking for an elementary school, look on the elementary map. If you're looking for a middle or high school, look on the second map, and it'll get your bearings oriented a little quicker.
Elder Story will be so sad he missed these.
Well, in addition to the hard copy maps that we provided to you, staff has been working with our GIS department, and this will be put into an interactive GIS map that residents or the alders will be able to access. The locations of the RRFBs and ultimately the driver feedback signs will be they'll be red to start. And as the sign gets installed, we'll change the color from red to either yellow or green to indicate that the sign is actually there, so you'll be able to track progress of the project as it's going along.
Awesome. Thank you.
We're currently preparing bid documents. There's a concrete base that the RRFB has to sit in, so we're going to go out and stake the locations of all 63 of the RRFBs, get our utility coordination and clearance done through Dicker's Hotline, and hire a contractor to go pour those concrete bases. Then, when the sign assemblies come in September, we can start erecting the signs on top of the concrete bases. Staff has been working with the list of locations for the driver feedback signs. That's the last page in the document. We only have that at the table. We don't have the map for that generated yet. Part of that is because the driver feedback sign has both a posted speed limit and then a number if you're above the speed limit. So it tells you for speeding.
That's what the feedback is.
As there is some potential modifications resulting from the alternates that the Green Area Public School District is looking at relative to school closures, we're holding off on that until we work with the district to find out exactly what schools may or may not be affected to determine whether or not the list has to be affected.
I noticed MacArthur had 4, and MacArthur is one that's going to be taken down.
Yeah. So
So,
who
yeah,
knows?
okay.
So prior to the meeting, while Parks was going on, I did have a brief conversation with Alder Galvin about this, and he was happy with the report and the status of it. So again, that's that one. And then the last item would be the director's report. The director's report today is very, very short, and I wish I had better news for you.
Oh, no, this isn't one of those, couldn't have the worst news.
Well, last Friday was the final day for Assistant City Engineer Matt Weissink.
Oh,
Matt has left us. He started yesterday as the Assistant Director of Public Works for the Village of Little Chute. So it was a great career opportunity for Matt to move on. We're sad to see him leave, but we do wish him well. So we do have an opening as Assistant City Engineer. Yesterday, near 5 o'clock, Jim showed up in my office and he had the traffic engineer in tow with him, and the traffic engineer has informed us that effective August 1st of this year, Dave Hanson will be leaving. He will be heading up the traffic division for the city of Madison. So we
Oh,
will also
wow.
be losing our traffic engineer.
oh, boy.
When's Dave leaving?
August 1st.
That's not me.
Well, we just got told.
So we continue to, on the good news front, we've got 2 vacant utility engineer positions, but Valerie was successful in finding a candidate. All we are pending is a physical.
Right.
So we expect that the new utility engineer will be starting with us on or about August 1st as well.
Parking utility?
Was that?
Parking utility?
No.
Utility.
A sewer utility engineer. We've got 2 positions open in the sewer utility right now, and we got one of them filled.
Okay, is that,
So that's the director's report.
okay, thank you, and then,
I will
Um,
recommend a motion to receive on place on file.
okay, we have a motion to receive and place on file items 1 through 3. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes. So the next Improvement Services Committee meeting is scheduled for July 26th, and everything will be going to the City Council next Tuesday. So we have no public hearing. So I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Second.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Alder Stevens and
Second.
second by Alder Campbell. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We don't need to like exit out, right? Because we're not in.
Correct.